So let's talk about greed. Imam Ali once said, the one who makes greed their motto loses their character. And that's such a profound way of framing the issue. I mean, he's not just saying greed is bad, he's tying it directly to our sense of self, our identity. When you really think about it, greed isn't just about wanting stuff, right? It's this deep, constant need for more. More money, more power, more approval. And when we let that drive everything we do, it's like we're handing over control of our lives to whatever shiny object is in front of us. We stop being independent, and honestly, we become pretty predictable. It's like we're writing off our own dignity. Take modern consumerism, for example. We're bombarded with ads convincing us we need the latest phone, the trendiest clothes, and it's not just individuals, it's corporations too. Some companies cut corners ethically, exploiting workers, scamming customers, or even the environment, all in the name of greedy profit margins. It's wild. They might make a quick buck, but at what cost? The respect of people? The trust of their communities? I actually came across this one story about a startup CEO. At first, their vision was solid, focused on innovation, real passion. But then, as they started chasing bigger investors and more funding, they lost their way. They began tailoring every decision to impress the venture capitalists. It wasn't about the mission anymore. It was about external validation. And here's the kicker. The very people they wanted to impress saw right through it. They lost respect and ultimately their independence too. It's honestly kind of sad. Greed might promise us everything, but in reality, we're just giving everything away. Our time, our values, and yeah, our dignity too. So, here's another piece of wisdom from Imam Ali that really hits home. Whoever's tongue is their ruler loses their value. Think about that for a second. It's like if we let our words run wild without any filter, we're actually giving up control of our reputation, our respect. And honestly, that's such a high price to pay. Words aren't just words. They carry weight, especially now. With social media, even an offhand comment can blow up. A 5-second mistake can live forever. Archived, tweeted, reshared a million times. It's like, once it's out there, it's out of your hands. Ever hear of cancel culture? Yeah, it's harsh, and sometimes even unfair. But man, does it show how powerful and fragile words can be. I mean, let's look at this one example. There was this live event, you probably saw it online. It went viral. A pretty well-known celebrity, kind of known for being outspoken, made this random comment. Something they clearly thought was just a joke. But it hit a nerve, especially in the context of everything happening politically that week. And wow, the backlash wasn't just online. Sponsors pulled out. Event organizers distanced themselves. In under 24 hours, their reputation had taken this massive hit. And here's the thing. They apologized. They released a statement explaining it was a misunderstanding, poor wording, all that. But that initial damage, it stuck. You can't really reverse how people felt hearing that comment in the moment. And that's where this cautionary tale makes so much sense. When we don't think before we speak, we're handing over control to whatever emotions or impulses are running through us in the moment. It's like self-sabotage. We've all heard the quote, "Think before you speak," but honestly, it's more than just a moral lesson. It's practical. It's about maintaining your dignity, your self-respect, and even your relationships. Because once words are out there, they can't just be taken back. All right, so we've talked about greed and unchecked speech and how both can erode our dignity. But here's the thing. They're all tied back to this bigger idea. Restraint. That ability to pull back, to stay grounded, even when every impulse, every external pressure is telling you to go all in. And, it's not just about saying no to things like greed or gossip. It's about what you're saying yes to instead. Your values, your boundaries, your self-respect. I think that's where real dignity comes from. It's not about being perfect, but about consistently choosing to honor yourself and your principles, even when it's hard. I've seen this play out so many times in the media world. Something as small as keeping your personal life off the record or politely refusing to share an opinion on something you're not ready to talk about, it all builds trust. It shows you're in control, that you have integrity. And honestly, people respect that. It's such a strong signal of character. There's a phrase I'd always come back to in my early days as a journalist. You can't take back what's said, but you can always choose not to say it. And the same goes for the choices we make in life. Once we commit to something out of impulse or desperation, it's like we lose a little bit of that independence, that clarity. But choosing restraint? That keeps us free to act on our own terms, with purpose and intention. So, here's my takeaway. Restraint isn't a weakness. It's a strength. It's not about bottling up your emotions or ignoring your desires, but about channeling them, guiding them so that they serve you instead of overpowering you. Because at the end of the day, dignity is about self-respect. It's the sum of all those small, conscious decisions to honor who you are and what you stand for. And on that note, we'll wrap up for today. Thanks for joining me on this journey. It's always a privilege to connect with you all. Until next time, take care and remember, dignity is built one choice at a time.